Okay, so like I explained in my last video, I am coming out with a book. And yes, it's about my exes. Yes, it's about my relationship. And yes, it's about my life. And I'm okay with that. I just want to kind of give you guys some insight, little 411 on what the book is going to be about, just so you guys can feel where I'm coming from. I mean, I can't just give you a dish and expect you to eat it and not know what's going to be on it. So let's start with boyfriend number one. Okay, I was fresh in high school. I was coming in as a cheerleader. You know me, optimistic, adventurous, loud, wild. I'm just ready. And we all come into high school thinking that it's going to be the glitz and glamour. You're going to have the boyfriend, you're going to have the good social life, everything's going to be good. And me especially, I took it like high school is going to be a movie. I wanted everything that I saw in the movies. I wanted the basketball games where everybody's in the crowd and the crowd's going wild with the game-winning shot and we're all going out after. Like, I envisioned my high school career to be something spectacular. And it literally was like a horror movie. It was freaking crazy. I met him in my English class. I walked in and bam, there he was. So I was just like, dang, I gotta have it. Got to have it. That's mine. And although everybody was throwing red flags at me like I was in a football game, just left and right, I didn't care. I was just like, I want him, and if I want him to be who I want him to be, I will change him. So there it is. Like, he was a basketball player, he was tall, he was cute, and his personality didn't really matter to me at that point. I was just like, I can make him into what I want him to be. So there it was, and it started. And everybody goes to that honeymoon stage. It was all good in the beginning, like, holding hands in the hallway, walking each other to class, going to the mall on Friday because we couldn't go anywhere else, we didn't drive. But in high school, things start to get a little bit technical. And some people are more advanced in things than you're advanced in. And when you aren't offering certain things, they tend to go look for it somewhere else. And that's what happened. And I was really oblivious to it. Like, I figured, like, well, if he's not getting what he wants from me, then he should be able to go get it from somebody else. I was still his girlfriend. I still had the title. I was still in the bio. I was still on the gram. Like, it was still me. That was still mine. But it wasn't really mine. I wasn't really practicing what I preached. Like, love yourself, respect yourself. But I didn't love myself. I didn't respect myself. And I didn't care if he respected me either. Because I stayed. I stuck around. And I stuck around for almost 3 years. It's a recycle, we reuse, just the same shit, different day, different month, different year. Nothing ever truly changed. And of course, we had our good moments, we had our amazing moments, and then it just kind of dropped. And I would say this was my first heartbreak, but I think it was my first heartbreak because it was my first go around. I didn't really think that it was going to like affect me the way it did, but of course, like, I was in love. It took a toll on me. I went into a dark place, but I don't think it was as worse as my second heartbreak. My first heartbreak was a lesson. It kind of taught me what to expect in a relationship, taught me what I should want in a relationship, taught me what I should kind of look for in a person that I'm going to be with. It's not just, looking good for the outside world, So, of course, my first heartbreak took me a toll on me because, like, he was constantly cheating, he was constantly lying, he was constantly hiding things from me, and I felt like, this is what I deserve, this is how it is, this is how everyone's going to be to me. And it kind of made me insecure because it's like, if I wasn't good enough for him, will I be good enough for anyone? So I went on, and we broke up, finally broke things off after about 3 years. And I was just like, I'm not about to get into another relationship until I think that this person is going to be the person I marry. I was very strong on it. I practiced my religion very heavily. I made sure that I saved my virginity for somebody that actually meant something to me. And I was pushing for marriage, but with life and how our generation is, it kind of slipped away from me. But that was my goal, and I knew that my next relationship, I was going to pursue those goals. And here it is. This guy just kind of takes over me. He was my friend for 6 years. We were friends for 6 years, known him since middle school. He knew everything about my life. Never thought that we'd end up dating, but we did. And everybody was like, you know, don't date your friend. Like, you're going to ruin your friendship. But I felt that we were going to make it all the way. Like, I saw no doubt in our relationship and what we had. And it was a beautiful relationship. It was everything I hoped for. It was a Sunday candy. It was flowers on the weekend and long walks in the park and meaningful messages and meaningful days. He looked at me like I was the love of his life. Like, there could be no other girl. And it made me feel immaculate. I felt like I was on top of the world. I thought that no one could ever come in between this relationship. No one could ever take this away from me. But of course, I went into that relationship with doubts. I went into that relationship with insecurities. I went into that relationship with a bad blood from my last relationship, which pushed me to push him. I kind of would just lash out on small things because I wanted everything to be perfect. I didn't want anything to be like my last relationship. So when little glimpses of arguments would flash back in my head, I would just completely go off my bunkers. And after a while, it kind of gets old. I mean, who wants to argue every day? Or who wants to hear what you don't like about a person every day? Like, no one wants to come home to that. No one wants to wake up and say, I wonder if me and my girl are gonna get along today, or I wonder if we're gonna argue today. And that's how it was, and it was because I made it that way. But although I started the fall, he made sure to push me down, step on me, and kind of like squish me to the ground. I'll take full responsibility, but it kind of started. And when I fell, I expected him to be there to catch me, but instead, he let me fall. And he let me fall deep. He let me fall so deep that I felt like I couldn't get back up. And it was hard. It was hard to let someone who was a part of my life for so long, who meant so much to me, just up and walk away. And it's not like he up and walked away and just kind of went to a focus on his life. He up and walked away, and months later was with someone else, telling her exactly what he would tell me. And I was just supposed to get over it. I was just supposed to be okay, and I wasn't okay. Not a day went by that I didn't feel lost inside. I felt like everything was taken from me. Not a day went by where I didn't cry. Not a day went by where I didn't reminisce. Not a day went by where I just wanted to like call him and be like, you know, I love you, and I want you to love me too. But no matter what I said, no matter how hard I prayed, no matter how hard I tried, I never got it back. And I wondered, like, you know, why is God doing this to me? Like, how can somebody who's supposed to bring blessings to my life bring so much pain after pain? Like, I've went through 4 years straight of just fucked up relationships and family problems and misfortunes. It's just like, where are my blessings at? Like, God, why are you doing this to me? And I was praying to him, but I wasn't really praying. I'm over here yelling at him. Like, he's in front of me, and I'm just like, you know, give me this and give me that. But I wasn't really focused on what he was giving me. And that's why I wrote this book. Because God didn't put me through these relationships and these hardships for me to dwell on or for me to be depressed for the rest of my life. He gave it to me for me to share this message. He gave it to me for me to express to you all that your pain has a purpose. Your heartbreak has a purpose. You have a purpose. Self-love, self-worth, knowing yourself, being comfortable with the person you are means something. And once you find that, everything else will come. Once you find a meaning in your life, God will start dropping blessings after blessings after blessings. And I didn't know that. It took me a long, long, long time to realize what he was trying to do with me. And there it is. So, you know, shout out to my ex, because, you know, you took me here, and I will forever appreciate what you guys have done for me.